Day 100 of my journey to generating $340,000 a year selling options. And this is the exact process I use every single day to find stocks. I'm not just talking about it, I'm showing you live how I find them and how I scan, and also how I leverage AI to help me create a list to start analyzing. By the end of this video, you'll know my full process from scanning to building the list. Let's break it down. So before we get into everything, I just wanted to go over a quick portfolio update. This is where we began the month, 48,000, and currently we're at 45,000. If we take a look at the positions here, I sold a naked option on MES. So on the right, these are the positions. This column is what I made today, and total unrealized, and then the percentage of my portfolio that it makes up. I'll just quickly go through here. Made some new trades today. I bought some QQQ and SPY. I'm going to start swing trading those. I liked where the market was today, so I decided to purchase some, and sold some Charles Schwab for a 3% profit. That is a portfolio. Now, let's get into my strategy on how I find stocks. So I have 4 different ways. The first is when I'm reading through the news or listening to any videos on Yahoo Finance or CNBC, if there's any stocks that I find interesting during the shows I'm watching or articles I'm reading, I'll add that to my list. And so that's the first way, pretty simple and straightforward. The second way is I follow a YouTuber. His name is Investor52, and he created this really cool AI scanner, which you can pay, but I use his free scanner. I'm not affiliated with him or anything, but I just think he put together a really great product, and I want you all to be aware of it. So I'll provide the link to this scanner in the video description. But he has 3 free scanners. I usually just use these 2, the lower risk strategy and the balanced risk. And so these show the ticker, the company name, and then the criteria. And he also shows you the criteria here, so you can kind of see for yourself what that criteria is. So this updates once a week, I believe, after market on every Monday when the market closes. And I'm on the east side of the North American continent, so I'm Eastern Standard Time. This is another list. I usually only care about the stocks that match 7 out of 7, and then the others is here too. This is the other list. And he also has a list for a legendary investor-inspired strategies. So you can take a look at that. I'll leave the URL in the description below. The third way is I use finviz.com. Finviz is a great free scanner for stocks, and the filters I use, I'll quickly go through them, is country, USA. I want to make sure they're optionable. The market cap, only want to trade companies that are 2 billion or higher. And then I'll go to fundamentals, the PEG ratio, I want under 1. Debt to equity, I want under 0.7. Return on equity, I want over 10%. Sales growth, over 10. And then EPS growth, over 10. This usually has gotten me about a list of around 30 stocks. And I check this every day. And then I like to filter by price, just because I do the income grid wheel strategy, and so I try to find stocks as cheap as possible because it utilizes a little more capital than normal. But I'll just quickly go through this and look at the pop-up window of the ticker and just run through this and see. Now, the last, and this is where I leverage AI to help me, is I look at my subscriber list. And so I have on my YouTube channel, I subscribe to a lot of people who talk about stocks and all that, but you can spend a lot of time watching videos. I mean, this video alone is over 43 minutes. What I do is I get this list of YouTubers I subscribe to, and then once a day, whenever there's a new video that comes out, I'll click here and I'll hit the share, and then I'll copy the link. And then what I do is I go over NotebookLM and I built a notebook specifically for this purpose. I'll paste in the YouTube video. So I have 3 YouTube videos and I'll insert it. That'll go over here. And if you haven't used NotebookLM, it's one of Google's free AI tools, and I just love it. And then I have this prompt that I give NotebookLM once the YouTube videos are uploaded. And don't worry, I will share this prompt in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And then I'll hit enter and I'll wait for this to generate the report. So basically what it's doing is it's acting as a factual investment research assistant, and it's basically skimming all the videos and is pulling out the stocks that are talked about. Now it puts it into a list of primary stocks, the main point of the video, and then secondary stocks. And so what it does is it reads the transcripts and it'll be able to know if the stock is the main point of the video or if it's just name dropped. And then it also gives me a little synopsis of what the video was about and whether the creator of the video is saying to if they're buying or selling it. And so here you can see these are the primary focus stocks and the name dropped stocks here. And it does this for all the videos. But at the very end, I also asked it to put it in a nice little list. And it also tells me how many times out of all the YouTube videos I watched or I've uploaded here, how many times it was talked about. And then it also tell me, was it primary or a secondary or name dropped, and then overall sentiment. What was the sentiment of that stock? And so you can see IREN was mentioned 2 times. Nvidia twice, Palantir twice, Amazon twice. And the reason why I like this is because I've noticed that stocks that tend to do well are talked about a lot of creators. And so if a lot of creators, I have a very wide range of YouTubers, and I'm not going to share them all with you because I think it's important that you choose the ones you trust. But if a lot of different creators are talking about a single stock, I think it's important to pay attention. And so this is what I do to find my stock list. And I put it in a note, and then I will use that list to start my research. And this is the prompt that I use. Again, I'll leave it in the description below. And if this process helped you, I want to know, what else do you need help with? Are you stuck on picking strikes, understanding delta, managing trades? Comment below. I read every one, and I'm making videos based on what you ask. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. I'm on day 100 of my journey to generating $340,000 a year selling options. Every week I'm showing you my portfolio update and the lessons that I've learned. So feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It would mean a ton to me. And until next time, take care.